Now I'm going to talk about some ways to cultivate joy. Some practical, we are not the soul dive if we are not practical about this. So, ways to be more joyful. Number one, decide to be happy now instead of when this happens, when the children are out of my house, when I've cooked the best biryani, when I can now make my mother's fudge recipe or whatever, when I've lost X amount of weight, when my car is working, after I get married, when I've no, now, today, in this moment, right now, joy, I joy to you, joy. Joyful. That's me sending you joyful vibes. A second one, a very important one, love yourself in action. Be more romantic with yourself. Treat yourself with the same kindness that you would treat a friend, a lover, a person that you deeply care about. Love yourself in action. A lot of times we want to be loved in action, and we love other people in action. We do loving things for other people. We put bubbles in our loved ones' baths. We serve our loved ones with trays. We smile when we give them food. We are nice to others. But to ourselves, we treat ourselves roughly like, no, it's just me. No, it's not just, it is indeed you. You are, all of ours is beloved. When you feel loved, you will be more lovable to others too. But it will give you joy to treat yourself as deserving, to treat yourself with love, with kindness, with compassion, to hold space for your own feelings. Whatever it takes, I'm not prescribing, I am telling you to love yourself in action. Whatever that action is of loving yourself, do it to yourself. Act in love towards yourself. And I've separated it from the next point, which is eat, sleep, exercise, read. Read. Pray. And if you're thinking about reading, here's a nice book. The Book of Joy by, well, it's got the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu. And Douglas Abrahams was actually having conversations with them. So here's a nice book. All right. Read. Pray. It's so helpful to elevate whatever issues you have. Once you've held space for yourself and you see that there's something that's obstructing your joy, that's making it hard for you to be joyful, to elevate that thing in prayer. Whoever you are praying to, whatever the name is that you're praying to, do that. Meditate. Take the time to feel together, to pull yourself towards yourself, to hold space for yourself, to be aware of what you are experiencing, what's true, what's real, what's happening here. Maybe write on a journal. And then, of course, very importantly, create with your hands. I witnessed a woman who was told that she had stage 4 cancer and will be dead within months. I witnessed her live for 9 more years. And how she did it is that every day she would create something with her hands. It is difficult to have creative power flowing through you and death at the same time. It's very difficult. Just as it is difficult to have joy flowing through you and worry flowing through you at the same time. Worry will give you a heart attack. Joy won't. Choose the power you are running yourself through. All right, know yourself. Get to know what one thing you can always do to get yourself out of a funk. I know for myself, in fact, I don't even have to know it for myself. Me at my house, when they see that, you know what, you're running low on the joy factor, they send me to the beach. That is just standard at my house. They be like, you're running low on the joy factor, off you go. And importantly, hold space for your emotions, for your own emotions. Hear yourself. Listen to yourself. Really hear yourself. It's extremely important. And then choose, set aside your worries. Now, a nice what you call picture I've seen of dealing with with worries is to be aware of what is in your circle of influence, meaning you can do something about it. So if you can do something about it, do something. And what is in your circle of control, if you can control it, do what you must do. If in fact, if you can control it, then it should be something that's very much within your power to do something about. If you can influence it, I'll be aware that I can only influence. I'm not going to be able to physically do something about it. And then your circle of concern. The circle of concern is about those things that you want to pray about. Like seriously, just pray about them and then get out of them. You can't do anything about it. You can be concerned about it, but you cannot really, in reality, do something about it. But be aware. Set aside your worries and be aware of where these things fall, so that you don't run a monkey, a zoo with other people's monkeys. You've just adopted problems and you're worrying about all sorts of things, and it's like you worry for a hobby. No, none of that. It will hamper your joy. We don't do that. No, let's not run a worry circus. I think I've said enough about that. Practice appreciation. I've already said this one, but I cannot say it enough. Practice appreciation for the billions and billions of things that are going right now that you're not even aware of. You know, as human beings, we're strange. A problem can be happening. Like right now, even as I'm speaking, someone somewhere is experiencing a life-shattering something. We don't care. We don't know, so we don't mind. The moment it comes into our knowledge that such thing is happening, all of a sudden, we personally must do something about it. And guys, that's not the way it should be. Should we have to do something about everything? Do we have to get involved with it personally for it to go right? Really? Is that how that works? I believe that's not true. But yeah, influence, control, concern. Know where you're at. Then very importantly, surround yourself with people that feed your joy. You know, surround yourself with people that feed your joy. And then of course, feed other people's joy too. Be that person that loves with all that you are, that practices compassion and kindness and affection and appreciation. These are all elements of love. Add value to other people's lives. Cultivate your own self-image as a good person. Because when you cultivate your own self-image as a good person, that makes you joyful. That puts you in a place where you know that anyone who leaves my presence having been changed for the better, or having had their life enhanced in some way by having encountered me. And my favorite one, dance. Yes, I don't know how to dance, but that does not stop me from dancing. The two have nothing to do with each other. Just because I don't know how to dance does not mean I must not. Dance. Sing even if you don't know how to. Release the energy that is just about creating beauty for beauty's sake. You know, the movement will change your energy. The releasing yourself to singing will change your energy. And then, I cannot stress this one enough, make contemplation a regular practice. Contemplation, I learned from Robin Banks, that contemplation is that state of sitting there and saying, okay, how can I achieve this goal? And then asking yourself that same question in a number of different ways, and not giving yourself a quick answer, just contemplating it, asking the question and letting it drop into your subconscious, going about your business, and then being open to the answer coming to you. Now, I want to remind you that in between the getting up from your contemplation and seeing the manifestation of what you were contemplating is joy. That's what you do in between. Joy. Nay? Right. I think this subject we've covered quite a lot. If you've got some things that you would like to say about this, Karen, we acknowledge your presence with us. Thank you so much for joining us. If you've got some comments, some maybe recommendations, some things that work in your own life that you want to share with us, please go ahead and do that. We are very, very much open. This is a collective soul dive. Go and join the Soul Dive group on Facebook, because that is our community group where you can share these things, where you can post that I practice this, guys, and I found it to be helpful, or just share. And then if you would like to have a person to walk this journey with you, I am a heart intelligence coach, and I would like to give you the opportunity, if you want, to get in touch with me, inbox me and say to me, I would like to see if we can work together. I do one-on-one sessions, and I facilitate group sessions as well for deep, meaningful conversations. Yes. And so get in touch with me. Send me a message or something. We're talking about joy. And I want to say to you, it doesn't matter what your life has been up until now. If you have not had a joyful life, don't worry. We can begin again. I am a seed, you are a seed. We can bloom, we can blossom, we can be bright. And I want you to say, even me, living a joyful life. Living a joyful life is not about bounding up to a start anytime you feel something deeper than a puddle of emotions coming up for you. It's not about hiding from the things that we feel, and hiding from the things that are not joyful. It's about embracing all that is us and knowing that that is not the end of everything. We must be able to hold space for ourselves, to love that little girl or boy inside through the tears and the tantrums. Creating a life that we can be proud of sometimes requires excavating the foundations of hurt and pain and betrayal and whatever else that lie below the surface, but then doing it from a place of knowing that tomorrow is coming, but right now this is what's real, and it does not steal from our joy. For once, I ask you to just sit there and allow yourself to have all of those feelings. You have to be aware of exactly what's going through yourself. Follow that rabbit hole. Bravely face your own point of no return. Confront the boogeyman that took residence in your mirror. Whenever it was that you first found yourself to not be enough, found yourself to be always sad, found yourself to be anything that you have somehow told yourself has stolen your joy, let go of it. Let go of it. Joy is right now. We can always begin again. We can always begin again. When you finish crying those tears, when you finish asking yourself those tough questions, make a decision to be joyful on purpose. Joyfulness takes a willingness to surrender all the stories, all the baggage, the scabs long after the wound has healed. To look in the mirror with kindness and say, you're not perfect, but I love you, and you deserve to continue on from here with joy. Let us walk in the freedom that only we can give ourselves. You are the only one who holds yourself prisoner behind that, I'll be happy when, I'll be joyful when, and all of that. Let go. Surrender all the keys that lock your joy away. Pardon yourself unconditionally. Throw yourself joyfully into this life. This has been the Soul Dive. My name is Lebo. I thank you so much for tuning in. I thank you so much for being with us. Join us again next Tuesday. on a Tuesday.